Greetings, developers and metaverse architects. I'm coming to you remotely today, and I couldn't be more happy to celebrate the continuation of the Moralis Cross Cronos Metaverse Gaming Hackathon. I know that everybody's hard at work building some amazing gaming products and applications. And today I'm here with Yosef, head of our community engineers, and we're going to talk a lot about how to improve our dApps, some tricks with using Moralis, and also take some questions and answers. So without any further ado, let me welcome Yosef to the stage here.
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Phil?
glad to have you here. So before we go any further, maybe you can talk a little bit about Discord and the community engineers and how you guys provide support there before we get into the meat of the content today.
Yeah, so just briefly speaking, I'm Joseph from the head of community engineers. So basically, what we do is help out the community from Discord and forum and Moralis. So if you guys have any questions regarding Moralis or, of course, Hackathon or any general problems with your application, feel free to ask us in Discord and forum, and we will be able to provide you support for 24/7. So there you go.
Perfect. And also, if you happen to bump into myself or Yosef in gather.town, we're happy to help you there. Just walk up to us and start a conversation. We're real approachable about anything to do with Moralis or coding or anything we can help you with. That said, let's get into our content today. Yosef, you want to share your screen? I understand you have some slides to share with us today.
Yeah, absolutely, Phil. Thanks. So hang on a sec. Let me share my screen. All right, there you go. I think you guys should be able to see my screen right now. So let's just get started and welcome again to the fifth workshop for the Moralis Cronos Hackathon. So I'm gonna talk mostly about building Web3 games with Moralis 2.0 right there. So let me see. I think I need to click on this. Oh, okay. So as I explained, I'm the head of community engineers right there. I help with the community regarding Moralis. If you guys are building with Moralis, you can talk to me or the rest of my team right there. We provide 24/7 support and also for hackathon support as well, for sure. And in the end, I'll be one of the judge for one of your games. So looking forward for all the project that is submitted. And you guys can contact me from this social media right there. So continuing on to the meat of the content. So basically, I think most of you guys probably more familiar with Moralis 1.0. So that's why I'm gonna talk from there as a starting point. So most of you guys probably already built some kind of games or prototypes using Moralis 1.0, and the stacks that you guys have usually will look something like this more or less. So you guys will have a smart contract layer with Solidity, Viper, or maybe other language, and then you have a backend that's using Moralis, and maybe you have a custom backend built with our Node.js SDK. Of course, for Moralis 1.0, we also provide many service for from the backend, so including servers, API, cloud code. We also used to provide speed nodes, which is now deprecated, and then in the front end, specifically for games, it's going to be game engine. We provide a Unity SDK. So we basically provide a full stack solution for game developers to develop their Web3 games. But however, to maintain all this stuff, from the back end to the front end and everything, infrastructure wise, it does require a lot. And but people want us to go into this Unreal Engine and Godot, basically to integrate other game engine into our offering as well. However, because we're maintaining so much, basically it becomes really really difficult to have the resources to create our own client SDK, game engine SDK for other game engine, which is very limited because in order to provide world-class client SDK, it does need a lot of resources and time, not just to build it out, but also to maintain it And as a consequence, like we only provide Unity SDK, and a lot of you guys also like provide the concern, like always asking when is going Unreal going to be supported uh, in the community. Sometimes you ask about Godot or something else. So, but really, like because like we're just maintaining the Unity itself takes a lot of resources. We were unable to do that in the Moralis 1.0. So that's where Moralis 2.0 basically tried to cure that pain point. So basically, in short, Moralis 2.0, for those who are not familiar yet, basically it's an enterprise grade Web3 API solution that is, instead of client focused, it's more backend focused. So we don't provide any more client SDK such as Unity SDK, and we integrate web. We allow this solution to integrate Web3 into any tech stack out there. So why would you use Moralis 2.0 when there's no Unity SDK or any SDK for the game engine? Well, there's three reasons for this, because like first, it's cross-chain by default. Like it enables us to connect to any EVM chain. I'll explain a little bit more. And then it has various backend as service integration with Azure PlayFab and Firebase integration. There's also Supabase integration and many other kinds of integration coming in the pipeline. And also, we're basically framework agnostic. So because like we're just providing API, this enable us to provide you solution into any language or framework there is. So you'll be able to use us, uh, whether it's in Unity and Unreal, Godot, any game engine or any platform, that will be possible right there. So let me explain a bit further. So as cross-chain, as I mean, it supports EVMs and non-EVMs. So we basically support a lot of chain out of the box. So one of it is Cronos, of course, which you guys are required to use in the hackathon. And then like if in the future, if you guys want to expand your game into like other chains out there, then you'll be able to expand to any chains out there very easily with just like a few lines of code change. So Ethereum, BNB, Polygon, mostly EVM. So AVAX and Phantom is also EVM. Solana is the non-EVM one, and probably we're gonna add other chains as well, EVM, non-EVM, more in the future. And for integrations, as I mentioned, we integrate with the best backend as service provider for your game. So basically, you'll not like build your game backend from scratch. You'll build it basically with other service provider that is already what's it like the best in the field, that have experience in building their own backend. So such as Azure PlayFab, which is like very huge in the game, and then also AWS for games, and of course like there are many other more, but these are the biggest ones that is out there. And also like it's going to be framework agnostic. As I mentioned, this is an API solution, so essentially you'll be able to use Moralis in any framework there is. So within the context of games, it's going to be like Unity, Unreal, Godot. You can basically call the API from there, or you can have a custom backend and call it from there, and then become a proxy for your game engine to be called right there. So with this structure right here, like your Web2 game will mostly gonna be look like this instead of like the previous structure for the Moralis 1.0. So there's gonna be like more complexity, but definitely like allow you more flexibility on the tech stack that you choose. So in this case, like of course the blockchain, you can choose any of it, and then like build some smart contracts on top of it as kind of your backend. And then like Moralis is going to be like the middleware where it provides API solution right there, and you can also get like backend as service integration as well to power your game, so that you can build your game easily and quickly and deliver it to the market uh, easily. So basically, that's how it's gonna look like. with Moralis 2.0. So for our API, we're getting deeper right here into like our offering. So the Moralis 2.0 basically have three offerings right here. So Auth API, Web3 API, and also Stream API. So just to note right here, Stream API hasn't come out yet, but I'm gonna talk a bit about it later just to give you a picture of it. So Auth API is basically uh, an API for authentication with Web3 wallets. Basically, it is based on the EIP 4361. Uh, was that like proposal? So this is like our auth API is compliant to that specific EIP, and this basically enable off-chain authentication for ETH accounts, because by default, when you connect to wallet, basically there are no sessions such as like when you're working with Web2. And with this auth API, basically you're enabling session within your application so that like you can provide access for people that are authenticated, and for those that are not, then they'll not be provided service in their application right there. And as I mentioned right here, it will help devs easily integrate various wallets to their dev right there. So another offering will be the Web3 API. So this is basically very similar to what we have from the previous, from the Moralis 1.0. So this is like a really huge offering. So it offers various services, mostly going to be indexing data from the blockchain easily, from the blockchain that we supported, as I mentioned previously. And by default, it's cross-chain. So, and then like going deeper later. So we have also like sorry, a specific subclass of the Web3 API, which is called NFT API, that focuses on indexing NFT data. So this could be like getting NFT balance from a wallet, getting NFT transactions, or could be getting NFT price from a certain marketplace somewhere. So we have those, and you can basically call it really easily to index those data directly from blockchain instead of like using RPC nodes and finding those manually. Like we index them automatically for you, and you just need to call it very easily. So here I have some sample codes to implement Moralis 2.0 within your application. So it's very easy. Basically, the important thing is basically you need to call this function right here, which is Moralis.evm API account get NFTs, and you just need to input like the address and the chain. The chain is gonna be like, could be Ethereum, but in this case you should use Cronos, because like you're probably gonna use the Cronos chain. And just with this one function call, basically it'll enable you to call the NFT balance of a certain Ethereum account that exists within the blockchain directly, and it will basically give you an array with just one call, and that's it. It's really easy to use. And then another example is using the get NFTs for contracts. So as you can see, it's very similar structure. You just need to input like the inputs right there. So this have different inputs. So you need the address, which in this case is the user address, and then like the token address, and also the chain right there. So this specific API is basically like getting the NFT of certain contract that is owned by this user right there. So a lot of people use this API, and basically you can use it as well within your application, whether like for a certain purpose. I think like for token gating, it could be like very popular and easy use case for whatever purpose. Like you can basically just call this API and use it within your application very easily right there.
Just to add something there, Joseph. So when we talk about NFT gating, for anyone who's listening in and hearing that for the very first time, what we mean by NFT gating is a website or an app that I would access only because I own a particular NFT, that my NFT actually unlocks access to that resource. And we're calling that NFT gating. So I just wanted to bring anyone who is hearing that for the first time up to speed.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Yeah, definitely need to clarify that. Uh, yeah, so moving on. So the next one is Stream API. So this one it hasn't come out yet. If you have read the docs and etc. or resources for the Morales 2.0, but we definitely talk a bit about it. Ivan talks a bit about it in his stream that it is basically something very similar to Event Sync from 1.0. But as you know, Event Sync is dependent on the Moralis server. Unfortunately, in Moralis 2.0, we don't have servers anymore because like it's going to be open source soon. Uh, but yeah, basically, this is gonna be like the replacement of that, and a lot of user basically have like gets a lot of value from such service. So we're gonna like deliver it soon. But yeah, it's not released yet so soon. So stay in touch with us and look out for the announcement. So yeah, that's basically like the API services that we provide from Moralis. As I mentioned, so there's three: auth, Web3, and also Stream. So in order to use those, getting started is basically very, very easy. So there's just four steps that you can follow right here. So first one is to get the API key and then integrate Moralis to your backend, integrate BAS provider, backend as service provider, which is this could be optional because like whether you want to use a backend as service or build yourself, that's your options. And then you can also connect your and then lastly, you just need to connect your backend to the front end basically to call your APIs. So to get into more details, to get an API for step one, it's very easy. Let me, I can, oops. So basically here, I think I can show you a little bit. So for the get API key right there, you can go to admin.moralis.io, which is basically the application of Moralis, and then you can right now you're at home. To get the API key, you need to go to the Web3 API section right here, and then you can click on the copy API key, and then click on this Web3 API key, and then you'll be able to get the API key for the Web3 API right there. Similarly, for the Solana API, it's gonna have the same API key, so you basically only need to copy once, either from the EVM or the Solana API right there. Next one is basically to integrate Moralis to your backend. So to do that, it's basically very easy. In this case, I'm gonna use like Node.js as an example. So to do that, basically, once you create your Node.js project, Express project, Nest.js project, you just need to npm install Moralis and then you're done. Of course, like if you want to use like Next.js, which is like more full stack, you can only use this on the backend part instead of the client side because like we don't really provide the client SDK right now for the Moralis 2.0. So once that's done, then you can basically once you have installed Moralis using npm, you're gonna integrate Moralis into your application using like one sample code right here. So this sample code basically you can copy very easily from the documentation right there. So you can go to the API reference, and then like there's going to be a list of API that you can copy there with. So for example, this is the NFT API that I mentioned just now. And then like whichever API that you want to use, you can click on this and then click on which language you want to use. So the Node.js, JavaScript. So JavaScript one is going to be like just a basic web request. The Node.js one is going to use the uh, Node.js SDK provided by Moralis. So then you can just copy and paste it into your code very easily right there, and then just change the parameters right there, whatever you want. So once that's done, then step 3 and 4 is basically following the tutorials that is provided by Moralis and build your own app from there. So in this case, like here I'm showing the using Unity and PlayFab. So if you're building your games using Moralis 2.0 here. Let me see, the using Unity and PlayFab is gonna be in the tutorial section right here, which is gonna be like in the your first step, and then you go into the subsection right here using Unity and PlayFab, and it will show you all the steps on how to integrate Moralis 2.0 into Unity, and also integrate with PlayFab as well on the back end right there. So very easy to follow, like you just need to follow those, and then basically you're done, and you can add more features in the future for your games, for your user. So I think that's about it. So thank you for listening, and as always, like if you need any help, go to Discord right here, hbsmorales.io, join Discord, or forum, which is forum.morales.io right there. So thank you very much. So
Thank
any
you.
questions?
That was an awesome overview, Joseph. And I think it cleared up a lot of things for some people who maybe worked with Moralis 1.0 and they're wondering what's available for Moralis 2.0. Just to make it clear, whether you're building on Moralis 1.0 or Moralis 2.0, your project will be valid for this hackathon. So either route is acceptable. If you're thinking in terms of longevity, there might be some appeal to going the 2.0 route. But if you already know how you're going to build it under Moralis 1.0, feel free to continue along that path. It'll still be valid. See, we have a question up on the screen. So can I use Moralis SDK for auth in Unreal Engine with PlayFab AWS right now, or is it still in development? That's a good question. Do you know on that, Joseph?
So I know at like definitely like you can use it. Right now, our example is using the Unity one in the docs, but if you want to implement in the Unreal one, definitely you can do that. For PlayFab, we have the example AWS. You should be able to do it as well, but we just haven't provided the tutorial right there. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention, but like, I don't know if many people realize, but like the auth itself now, so it's available for both the EVMs and also the Solana auth. So basically, any chains that you want to use, you should be able to do that.
Joseph, do you know what he means here? When the backend comes in, will our dApp still guarantee transparency? Any any thoughts on what our viewer is asking there?
No, not really. Sorry.
Can you rephrase it?
Yeah, maybe can you clarify or something? Yeah, because I'm not really sure.
Yes. Yes. Smart contracts deployed to one EVM chain are typically portable to another EVM chain. Now, there can be subtle differences in the way that chains run the EVM, but by and large, the answer is yes.
Yes, that's true. At least the one that we supported, it's definitely like transferable one to one. So if it works from one chain, it should be work on another. By our own, just use Moralis API on the backend. Yes, that's exactly correct. Although like you don't really need to implement everything from scratch, because like as you see in our docs, we do have some tutorials on how to integrate MetaMask, Wallet Connect, and also like Magic Link and many other like options right there. So you can mostly just copy the code instead of like figuring out everything by yourself. So that will make it much quicker for you to build your applications.
Are you speaking in terms of the Web3 UI kit, or where can they find these resources?
Oh, okay. Maybe let me just show it a
Sure
little
thing.
bit again. So I think it's sharing my screen. Okay,
Yep.
so it's not really Web3 UI kit right here. I haven't talked about Web3 UI kit, but it's another one. But basically, like right here, if you go to the documentation, we add a how-to guides right here, and there are several sections right there. One of it is Web3 authentication. So if you want to sign in with MetaMask, yes, you need to like sort of built everything like from scratch. So like communicate with the MetaMask and then like the backend and then like sign it and etc. But you can basically just copy this code right here and follow the steps, and you should be done within 10 minutes. So what's that? I think like that's the fastest way right now if you want to implement like MetaMask auth, and of course like there's other options for Wallet Connect, Rainbow Kit, Coinbase Wallet, and etc etc. And yeah, it's not just limited to what's that like Node.js. We do provide like right now Node.js and C Crash no sorry C Sharp SDK, but what's that like you should be able to use it in other frameworks and other language as well, because it's just basically a REST API. You can call it in any language. So in this case, like we have tutorials with Python and Django, and also C Sharp and .NET right there. So just quick overview.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Siegfried backstage checking out any questions in the chat. Did we have any other questions? No. All right. So that covered all of them. Now we're going to have an extended question and answer session in gather.town. While I'm remote, I won't be there this time, but Yosef will, along with the community engineers, and I'll be back with all of you on Thursday for our next workshop. If you do have any lingering questions, I would encourage you to either bring it up in gather.town or in Discord if you're more comfortable that way. But either way, we're here to help, and we just want you to be successful in what you're building this hackathon. Thank you so much for your time, Yosef. I think that was extremely informational and just an awesome overview. So we're really glad to have you here on Workshop Livestream, and look forward to talking with you more as the event goes on.
Yeah. Thank you, Phil.
My pleasure. We'll see everybody later. Have a great day, and we'll see you in gather.town.